Morning,
All right,
everybody.
we're live.
All right. Good morning.
This is a live stream meeting for KAOS. We're building a database of public opinion. And when I say we're building, we have to first build a team. We are not actually writing the software yet. We don't have that capacity yet.
Nope.
We need a team for that. None of us, like the founder, Brian, isn't a programmer. And all the people he's attracted so far also aren't programmers. I mean, we're amateur programmers, but we can't build a system like this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you are someone that can do something like that, and we don't want you to build it, we want to talk to you about it. We want you to help us figure out how.
Unless you want to join us.
Yeah.
Unless you want to join us.
We want you to join these meetings. I mean, it doesn't have to be all of them. Like we've already talked to some people a little bit. We need to hear more from them and from other people. And we need at least one of them to join us, like fully join us. I don't really know exactly what fully join us means. You know,
well, show up for every meeting.
Become part of the team.
Well, there's 3 of us right now doing every meeting. There's at least one or a few other people who still consider themselves part of this. They just don't want to be in the meetings right now for whatever reasons.
Yeah.
Or can't make the meetings.
Yeah. Whatever the reasons are. And I think that's fine anyway. Like, imagine we have 1,000 people. I don't want 1,000 people on the call. Okay. So what that means is a scenario where some people are relevant to the call right now and others are not, you know. So like, let's say we decided this call, we're talking about some specific legal issue. Well, we better have some lawyers on the call. So, and we don't need, like, I don't know, maybe we don't need the programmers that day.
Yeah.
But right now, the 3 of us, we need to be here all the time because we're working on more basic stuff. All right, can I bring up
pretty much the core of the group.
Okay. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
This is the most recent thing. Edward posted on our subreddit saying a concern brought up by a person on another social media app. I want to say a few things real quick.
Okay.
For one thing, this specific concern has been mentioned already at least 3 times. It's not a new one. I want to be clear.
Yeah.
So it's important that everyone involved understands the answer to this. And we won't all necessarily have the same answer. I know me and Brian differ a little bit. But usually where we differ is both of us don't really have the answer to the issue, and we know we got to learn more. Like from the rest of the industry that already does these things. You know, like specifically what things to ban, exactly what is considered a dox or what is related enough to doxing that we would not allow it. Those very specific
We need to find our line of
we've
tolerance.
already said we're going to learn from the industry who already does it. Not necessarily that we're copying anyone, but we need experts to kind of educate us on what to do. Not on the how do I say this? We're trying to be a free speech app, but of course there's things we have to moderate, like doxing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's other things. I don't know where it's going to land exactly. And from what I understand, we're going to vote on that anyway.
Yeah.
So not Brian and not me and not Edward and not anyone else involved in this is going to dictate what that is going to be.
That's right.
So Edward, when you're talking to people online about this stuff and this person makes some criticism like, oh, you can't do it that way. Well, first of all, it's not even decided.
Yeah.
Some of it's not even decided. And they're acting like it's already decided. I don't know what you said that led them to that, or them just being dumb and misunderstanding basic shit.
I think it's the case they're being dumb because I used, mainly the plug I used was the same thing that Brian worked with me.
So, by the way, when you post these things, here's the second small thing. Can you also link to the actual post?
Sure.
Yeah, then we can go reply. I want Brian to reply to this fucker.
Well, on what social media is it?
It doesn't matter. You're gonna,
Let me.
like, you know, Brian. You said your criticism of joining this other social media was, I don't know how to do it. Well, in this case, you don't even have to know because Edward gave you the link, and now you have the link, and now you're looking at it. You can read it now. You don't have to know anything.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you do.
You just would have to join in order to reply.
What is it?
Yeah, if I was replying.
You will have to going to reply.
Yeah, but you don't have to like know how to use the fucking app.
No.
You really don't.
No.
Because
It's
in this scenario,
as
Edward is
easy to
bringing-
log in as it is Reddit.
Edward is spoon feeding in this scenario.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah.
Don't see it as a big task.
And then also, I'd like to add, and you mentioned this on the sub, that all local laws will apply. So it may be different. We may have to apply certain rules for certain districts.
Right. Like I said, we've got to get a legal advisor on team because there's just way too much for us to deal with us three with the knowledge that we have of it.
Yeah.
Well, one thing we need to say when we're talking to all these people is to mention that we are going to be following the laws. And I don't think we've written it anywhere. In everything that we've written, we haven't mentioned anything about laws.
Well,
now, maybe we haven't written it because we think it's obvious.
Well, in the how it works, I do touch on that we will be following the local laws.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I knew that from the beginning, but I think where this individual that was responding to me, complaining in that, I think their main point was they were worried about being silenced by the masses. And it doesn't work that way.
I
mean...
you had given some, Edward, you had given some examples of how you came really close to being,
I did.
Being canceled or whatever. What do you call it there?
Banned.
Banned, yes. And, I've experienced the same thing. And this is why we want to try to be as open as we can and accept everything that we can, unless the laws require otherwise. And,
exactly. And I explained that in my original. I can bring up the original post.
Yeah. I think we're
Give me just a second here. Okay.
Well, you know what I noticed is the goalpost changed during the discussion. Because at one point you said something about we can't allow hateful comments. Not that you were saying it.
Which is something we have to look at.
Not that you were saying it, but that guy was saying it. And then later we're trying to still understand what you're saying or what he's saying. And then it switched to we have to follow the law. Well, those are two separate issues.
Yeah.
Right.
And when it comes,
I went on I had two different subjects going there. That was my bad. I did take care of that law issue with the person that responded. I was mainly bringing that up to your attention.
No, it's good. And I imagine this is going to come up another 100 times.
Oh, yeah.
Not necessarily by you, but other people.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there is going to be a liability risk no matter what we do. That's just given in any business.
Well, let's talk about the general part of this. Okay, how do you argue against someone who says, no, we have to not allow hate? Yeah. Well, Brian mentioned a good point, which he does each time. He has good ideas on this, which is, well, everyone has a different idea of what is hateful. Everyone's going to have their own idea of what should be banned.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
No.
I think our best bet on that aspect, when I'm talking hate speech, I'm thinking more directed hate speech towards the poster.
Okay, so let's get very specific and let's do an actual real example so that we're, because when you just talk about abstract without looking at concretes, we could be thinking of different things. So what's a very specific thing somebody could say that you think should be banned?
Well, besides the doxing, obviously.
Yeah, besides
doxing. But like me going on, to give you an example, Brian, this is not you, of course. I'm just going to use you as a target.
Yeah.
Okay. But what I'm looking at on the hate speech part is, say Brian posts something on the board. Well, I get so incensed or pissed off about it that I start calling him all sorts of hatred names. Start calling him a Canuck, calling him an idiot, calling him this,
and
calling
that's
him
the only
that.
thing in the comment. Let's be more extreme in this case to judge it. So a whole comment and all it's saying is you're an asshole, you're a jerk, you're a whatever, and there's no
I'm going to kill you.
100% pure insults.
Yeah.
And you said I'm gonna the statement.
Or say that they say I'm going to find you, I'm going to hurt you or whatever. Okay, that can fall into a liability. I did talk to my father. He's a retired law enforcement officer. that can turn into a liability for KAOS if something actually happens, because we didn't.
Okay, so let me tell
do
you my
anything to
thinking on
stop
this.
it.
Let me tell you my thinking on this, and I think it's different than Brian's. My thinking on this is: look, we're protecting against censorship, and that means we're protecting freedom of, you know, people to say ideas. Well, a bunch of insults isn't ideas.
No, I understand that, but what I'm
So I'm
what
willing.
I'm
Here's my point. I'm willing to ban that
Mhm.
because it has nothing to do with censorship or protection of people talking about
Right.
ideas.
Right.
Now,
One
Brian,
of
what
the
do you think?
complaints. Go ahead.
You know, these are going to be hard things to define, and you know, if you know, calling me names, I don't think are the same thing as saying I'm going to kill you. I
Right.
think
Threat.
Yeah, but it's one
A
comment
direct
that says
threat.
both. Okay,
hey?
let's stay on the one example. Somebody makes a comment. It's all insults, and it says I'm going to kill you, find you, and kill you.
Yeah.
So consider that example as you're answering this.
Yeah. Well, I think that part alone, saying that you're going to find you, I'm going to try to find you and kill you. I think that part alone puts it in the category of extreme hate speech, I guess.
You're saying you're willing to ban it?
I think by the laws of most countries, I think we will have to. You know, I don't think I have to make a decision.
So this will be easy
on
for
that.
us in this case.
Mhm.
What's that?
So in this case, it'll be easy for us to
Yeah,
Right.
because I think it
decide
falls
on
under,
this one.
yeah, because I think it falls under the laws that we have to abide by in
Okay.
most countries.
Okay,
Now,
so Edward, you got to
now-
find one
now
that
all the-
also
all the-
doesn't break the law.
yeah. Now, when it comes to all the name calling, though, I don't think that should be illegal, and I think that should be fine.
Oh no, I agree. I agree with that. I was trying to add to
Yeah.
to a point there.
Okay, so let me clarify my request then. Edward, I want you to find something that you think should be banned that isn't already banned by everyone's laws.
Mhm. I think that's a hard thing to come up with.
That's the hard thing, and it really is something hard. I mean, it'll be a case of see it when it happens, but we do need to put some form of rule in place. I mean, even with the chaos theory, chaos mathematics, and that, sure, everything goes everywhere, but there's still a principle of rules that causes chaos to
And we
do
do
its end
want to
result.
make rules and establish those rules and say them. We have a little bit of it. We haven't figured it all out yet. So what's the problem?
Our biggest problem I'm looking at is I think we need to set down a defined terms of service saying, you know, we got to protect ourselves, and it's sitting there saying we can put in
Are
the
you
black,
saying you
you know,
want
we
one
can't
of us
be.
to take on that project rather than waiting
No.
for someone to come educate
No.
us?
Yeah, I actually do. I mean, the site's up, so we got to have at least something rudimentary. I do have something rudimentary up on the site, just as a placeholder, so to speak, but gives the main principle of what.
And
what
you think we
be
should have
looking
this
at.
like really fast as a high priority because some people won't come to us otherwise?
The information I got from one of the posters is no censorship or no moderation is a form of censorship.
Okay, who claimed we're doing no moderation?
Exactly. I didn't. I claimed we weren't going to moderate content. We weren't going to go in and change what they're saying.
What it is that is the issue.
I think they're seeing that as they're looking at moderation as the whole thing. You know, like we're going to start this up and just let it be a free for all.
Well, to some degree, I think it is going to be a bit of a free for all. I mean, we want to keep it down to a minimum as far as moderating goes, and we are going to. There's going to be. I mean, that's the main reason why this is not popular, is because because we want to have so little moderating, and as little as possible. That's going to be a steady criticism from most people, not just
exactly.
Not just the
but we
odd
do
one.
need to have something put in place that covers that concern so that people will have a reason. Now, like this gentleman that I had joined the site the other day, he came in, he read our front page, and he joined. And that he was the same one that made that last comment that I posted where, you know, someone can change their mind. Like you said, he expected it to be some right-wing briefest and realized after reading it, this is totally different. And so he joined us, and he's been backing me on it, but he's also brought up some criticisms. Now, I did invite him to send you, Rami, email to join us on the live stream.
Yeah.
See if he's got any more information that I have not gotten the live stream link set up on the website yet. But I do have, I'm going to be setting up the Substacks as articles for them to be able to see and all that, so that we don't have to direct them to the Substack site. You know, I'm trying to prevent having to direct them from site to site to site to get the information. I want to have all that information on our site. I think it would be a lot easier for them to follow along with. Plus, people don't like clicking on links a lot.
Yeah.
So
I'm still trying to understand what exactly you're wanting us to do. And then there's a separate issue of what is the priority of that compared to the last two projects we were working on in the last live stream. Can you?
This needs to be a priority along with them. This needs to be a priority along
I want
with
you to tell me exactly what
you're
wanting me to write. What is it exactly you want us to do?
One of us needs to go through the terms of service and refine it.
Terms of
and
service.
add to it or subtract to it. Yeah, it's on the website in the forum.
Is this terms of service for our current website or for the future KAOS?
For the current website. And, you know, like I said, yeah, for our current setting here. Let me
realize that's what we were talking about.
Yeah. Give me just a second here.
Brian, did you know that's what we were talking about?
No, not exactly. No,
I thought we were talking about the future KAOS.
Yeah, yes, the future KAOS.
We are talking about the future KAOS, but we've got to have something in place for now because the site is up and operational, accessible. We might get people posting there before we have everything finalized. Now we can avoid that. I can shut the forums down and just have the main page as a placeholder.
Yeah.
I can do that. But I think it kind of defeats the purpose of trying to get this up off the ground.
So, so people can comment right now on the website. And this is what you're talking about. Yeah.
What's wrong with the current terms of service that you got?
Nothing. I just, you know, we never really touched on that to make sure it meets what we're looking for.
Everyone else's.
I want everyone else's opinion on it. Yeah. Get their opinion on it and see where we can make changes in that.
Brian, can you look at that over the next week?
Yeah, and so in this terms of service, are the rules that would get you banned. I don't quite understand what the terms of service.
Yeah, these are the rules that would get you banned, would get you warned, gives what the purpose of the site is for. It helps reduce our liability. Because we've put that in place.
That stuff could happen on our forum, of course. And if you have the terms of service, we're protecting ourselves.
Yes, exactly. We're protecting ourselves as well as our users.
Okay. Well, I would want to go with, for this is separate from the KAOS system that we'll be putting together. We can go with a fairly standard, template that I'm sure we can find other.
That's what I've got up right now is a standard template.
Yeah, but he's still, Edward's saying he still wants
to have us review it. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I would like you to review it so we can make changes if we need to.
Email me and Brian. We'll both look at it. Yeah. And then next week, if we have anything to say, we'll say it. Otherwise, it's fine the way it is.
So that should be on the website itself. So if I go to comment or something, there's a spot there that I'll see these terms of service. The terms.
He's going to send you a link to our website with that.
Yeah, I just gotta get to the right part here because some reason. Oh, how about if I log in so it's visible to me? I'm still working on the anonymous posting and that. For some reason, the software's not wanting to work right for me. I don't know why. I really don't. I'm fighting it, and it's fighting me back. So I'm still working on that.
So that
Come
means
on,
that people
come on.
can't comment anonymously right now? Is that what you mean?
Right now, they can't. Yes.
Okay.
I'm working on that to this end. I've got it set up where they can. Something's stopping it, and I don't know what.
For our website, I don't know if we really want anonymous commenting. Really, I mean, that's going to be.
Well, see, that's what I was looking at. You
That's
know,
what I
I
was
think it'd
thinking.
be,
We don't need that yet.
Yeah, we don't
yeah,
need that in there.
but yeah, here I'm gonna.
I just think it might add for a lot more problems. Having to figure out, how can you really ban somebody if they're anonymous? They just post again anonymously.
You can't. I mean,
Yeah.
I got as administrator. I've got tracking of the IP address, so I can ban by IP address right now.
Yeah.
And I do get the IP address regardless whether they were logged in or if they were anonymous. But like I said, for some reason, this system is fighting me, and I don't know why. I don't know where, and I'm looking into it. I'm not really familiar with the Joomla forum board, so that's kind of a new one to me.
If you're getting an IP address and stuff like that, then they're not truly anonymous, like fully anonymous in any case. So, I guess
Exactly.
Yeah. So we do have some method of controlling
Yes.
what their content is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do have that available, but the problem is if they're using the VPN, they'll get around the IP address.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't worry too much about having anonymous stuff because I think it just adds for another layer of having to control things or, having things to worry about. And
Right.
we don't really need that at this point. I think we only really want to hear from people that are willing to tell us who they are.
Exactly.
Their opinions matter more to me.
Are we kind of done with this topic? Can we go to the next topic?
I think so.
we are.
Yeah.
We've covered it.
Brian,
My main concerns.
Brian, did you email Christian
Oh,
for permission?
No, I have not. No.
Can you please do that?
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
Have you worked on the KAOS Constitution?
No.
Okay.
I just got
off holiday.
Yeah,
Right,
I just got back from holidays, and I found a lot of things I
Okay.
had to get caught up on here. So, no,
So,
I have not. I'm going to make
we're
a
not
list
even
of
a
these
half
things.
hour in. We could work on the intro video, the script we're making. We could work on the KAOS Institution. What do you guys want to work on?
We might as well get the intro.
You know what else
Okay.
we can work on? Although I don't think this is high priority, is Robert's Rules of Order. Things like, I motion for X, and then if no one else seconds that motion, then it's dead on arrival, and we don't waste any time. Now, Edward brought up an issue. It's kind of like he brought up a motion to do something, and I was already thinking, I second that motion. I want to talk about it. You know what I mean? But if no one else seconds it, it's dead, and we move on to the next point. It's
Right.
for efficiency. It's also for fairness in raising issues. At least, if I understand correctly, the Robert's Rules of Orders has a everyone gets equal time, at least potentially, to talk about their issues or whatever. And there's also concepts of filibustering and how to avoid that. Brian, I know you said you're interested in this, and we should get it done, but I haven't looked at it all. I don't even know what to look at. I was gonna learn about that from Wissam, but then we didn't do our podcast yet.
Yeah.
We're just rambling.
Yeah, I think it matters. It'll matter a lot more when there's more than three of us.
But one person can come and then it's fucked up, and we didn't, and then they leave because we didn't do Robert's rules of order.
Yeah.
By the way, no one's gonna think you're acting like a dictator if we're following Robert's rules of order.
Yes. Yeah.
So maybe that's why we lost. Well, I don't know that we lost somebody, but maybe that's why we lost somebody.
Yeah. Well, in Robert's Rules of Order, we need there is somebody that has to moderate or like a speaker, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what they call them, the speaker? It's like the speaker of the house type of thing.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
see,
do have
to really get it to really go, I think we really need to get at least one or two more core individuals in order. I mean, I'm not saying we can't use the Robert's Rules of Order right now with the three of us.
Yeah.
But it will work when we get more of a bigger core.
I think it'll even help with the three of us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So who wants to volunteer to be speaker?
Well, I think Brian, you've already volunteered that. It just has a new name now.
I suppose.
Remember?
Yeah.
That's what Robert's Rules of Order is all about. I should clarify. It's a process of doing meetings democratically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in this process, there is a Speaker of the House. I don't even know the name, but there's a person that's running the meeting.
Yeah.
It's like the leader of the meeting.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And of course, well, I don't know if it's of course. I'm guessing there's an election process built into the Robert's Rules of Order.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. And if not, we would make one.
Yeah. That's something that wasn't touched upon on the like I said, I had ChatGPT give me a kind of a brief overview of how it works. That wasn't touched upon, how you pick the speaker.
Ask it again, please.
Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, can you open up the exact same
Conversation? Oh yeah. I've got it on my app. Yeah.
Okay, you're logged in. Okay. Go to the same one and continue the conversation and ask it within those rules, what is the process of selecting?
Yeah, the speaker.
Yeah.
You want me to do it? You want me to do that right now?
If you want, sure.
I don't know if I can do that on my phone without
ChatGPT is meeting with us.
Yeah.
It's like we should have a fourth frame and it's ChatGPT talking. I think we'll have that one day. We can probably set it up now.
All right, we'll see what happens here. Hold on. Let's see.
Do you know what I mean, Edward? Just imagine you have another device and you just set up
it shows the ChatGPT
on there.
It can be videoed right on. That would be great. And let it be voice activated so we can ask the question. Someone's not just typing it in behind you. It's,
exactly,
hey,
dude. I want to do
what
that.
do you think about this?
What sucks is you need a whole person just to manage that. And that person is not involved in the meeting. You know? At least that's how it is now. Maybe in the future they'll make that better.
Yeah.
What happened to Brian?
Believe me, there's a lot of.
Oh, I know what happened.
Pick the leader.
The screen goes black.
That is enforcing the rules for Robert's Rules of Order, comma, and what do you call that person?
Dan is taking his time thinking.
All right, so I don't know how I would. How would I show you guys this stuff?
Just go into your main screen where you're with us, and there should be a button that says present.
I don't know that it works on a phone, does it, Edward?
I don't know.
I'm guessing it doesn't.
Here, see if you guys can hear this.
I don't hear anything.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nothing. All right.
Just read it to us.
You know what? Or share the link and I can put it up from my computer.
Yeah. Do that.
So anyway, the person though is called the chair. Mm-hmm. Not the speaker.
Chair.
It's the chair. So
basically, chairman.
Yeah, it says they're elected by the members either at a general meeting or in accordance with the organization's bylaws. May be called president, moderator, board chair, or whatever we want. Serves as a defined serves for a defined term. Example, 1 year.
Yeah.
And elected by majority vote. Generally.
Elected. There we go. Majority vote. Wait a minute. So what happens if you have 100 people, and each nominee gets, I don't know, like 20 votes, and one of them gets 21? That's not a majority.
Let me just finish what it says here. And in informal or small groups, the group may appoint someone at the start of the meeting, or the person who called the meeting may serve as the chair. In committees, a committee chair is usually appointed by the parent organization or selected by the committee itself. The role of the chair is to maintain order, follows and enforces parliamentary procedure, recognizes speakers, the various people talking, states motions and handles voting, remains impartial, doesn't debate unless they step down as the chair. So whoever's acting as the chair should not be
well, that's
involved.
extra information. All we wanted to know is there an election process? We find out there is. It says majority vote, so I think that just means more than 50. And here's what I'm understanding: if the vote reached less than 50, then you deliberate again and re-vote, and you keep doing that until a majority is reached.
Yeah, well, probably by elimination. So, you drop a few people. So if if you had 20 candidates and it was very evenly split amongst a bunch of them, but some had very few votes, I think you'd eliminate some of them so that it's.
Oh, you would eliminate and then re-vote? That's what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, I'm just telling you my idea.
Yeah, I never knew about this. You must have seen this elsewhere.
Well, that's kind of how ranked choice voting works, right?
All right. So okay.
Or a rundown voting. Like if you were, how a party does in party voting. Usually that's how they do it, don't they? They drop the least favorable people and they have a revote with the ones that were leading.
And okay, yeah, I like that. Yeah. Because the idea there is somebody voted for that last guy, but he probably had a secondary person he would have voted for in the rest of the group, and you'll find that out when you take out that last voted one.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we want to use a ranked choice voting system more than a free-for-all election. To for example,
well,
you're
that might be
talking
hard
like
to even track, right?
Yeah.
Not if we do it on the polling software on the forum.
Oh well, set that up and great, but before that's set up, we can just do really simple shit like I can write it down right here. Ready?
Well, I think ranked choice voting involves a certain type of math, and everything's done with only one. Everybody votes just once, and so there's a math used to be where they drop a person, and I can't really explain it, but it does get a little bit complicated. But I think in our situation, because we can do a second vote and a third vote, we would just, like I said, we would eliminate those that were lowest on the ticket.
Yeah, ranked choice voting sounds like for really large numbers of people. Also, it needs to be done fast and one time.
Yes, that's right. And so you don't have to have people
doing multiple iterations.
That's right. Yeah. So it's clear.
I motion we hold a vote right now. Who's going to be the chair of this meeting and the next meeting and the next 3 months, let's say?
Yeah. Well,
I vote Brian.
Okay. Now, this is where it gets a little bit complicated onk again because there's only
just
three of us.
Because
I didn't ignore you. I'm listening to both.
There's only three of us, and then the person that we pick to be the chair. They're not supposed to participate in the deliberations or in the discussion.
Well, I don't agree with that, by the way. I bet you there's Robert's Rules of Order variations where it's okay for that guy to deliberate.
Well, I mean, it's when we're this small of a group, I don't think there's any way to get around that. I mean, I want to
Exactly.
I want to participate in the conversation. I don't want to just rule over it, right? So, you know, I think.
Well, by the way, I like the concept that the moderator is not involved in the discussion.
Yeah,
I like that because I could tell you a few cases where that it really needs to be that way.
Yeah.
Part of it is the image that the audience is seeing. If they see the moderator also participating in the discussion, they could easily get confused and think the moderator's cheating for his side.
Yeah.
Or he can be right because it is harder to do it. If you're
Yeah.
moderating and discussing, it will be harder than if you're just discussing or just moderating.
Yeah. Well, especially in larger groups, you know, when we get over 10, 20 people.
Yeah.
I think it'd be very confusing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if somebody needs to sacrifice themselves for this, I'll do it. I'll be the chair and I won't say any ideas.
Yeah.
Right now,
Never
I think we're at a point where we need the brainstorming between the three of us.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think anybody should be
I think we're
stepping
too
out of
early
the-
for the.
Yeah.
I think we're a little too early into our size
I'm
of
gonna
the group.
make this a question. Can we function with these rules where the chair, or I'll just say moderator, where the moderator is also, how would you word it? Just discussing?
Yeah, involved in the discussion.
As a question, I want to ask this to Wissam. I'm going to put this, by the way, Brian, I started a document.
Okay.
Just to prepare and keep our notes for that podcast we're going to do with Wissam.
Okay.
About democracy, Robert's Rules of Order, and chaos.
And we don't have a schedule. We don't have anything scheduled yet.
Oh, by the way, I asked him for to make a schedule. He just replied,
"Yeah,
I could do it today or anytime afterwards."
Yeah, and you haven't.
But I don't know how to negotiate that with you and with three people. That's too hard.
Well, just pick a date. I mean, if it's during a work day, I'm not available till after 4:00 on a work.
So
day.
basically, all of us probably are open at the same time every weekday.
Yeah.
After what time? See, we're 3 different time zones.
Yeah, that's the only difference there. So
Well, you and I are in the same time zone, Rami.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about the podcast between me, Brian, and Wissam.
Oh.
And where's Wissam? Where is he located? What's his time zone? Is it earlier or later?
I remember always saying it in the email. I'll figure out. So you, how about this? You just tell me what is the earliest you're willing to do it on a weekday.
On a weekday, it's 4 p.m. on well, let's say 4:30. Give me a little bit of time to get home. And
4:30 your time.
Yeah, 4:30 Mountain Time.
Mountain Time. And then I'm gonna find out from Wissam. I think his was also like 4:30 his time.
Yeah,
which I think
it was too.
I think it's Eastern.
Yeah.
And then me, I don't really care, so I'll figure it out based on this. Okay.
Yeah. So that'll make it. That'll probably make it 5:30 or 6:30 my time, which is fine, right? So that's later. That works.
Yeah. And I want to go the earliest of the possible time. But anyway.
Okay.
All right. Sorry to change the subject there, but oh yeah, so that's what we I didn't copy this yet, did I? I did, okay. All right. So are we done talking about Robert's Rules of Order, or should we vote right now for a
I don't think we can really make it work at the moment. I think we need more people.
Well, Edward, do
I
you
agree.
second my motion or no?
I agree with Brian. We're not ready
Okay. All right, it's dead in the
to
water.
elect
Then.
someone.
We all
Sorry.
want to be. We all
By the
want
way,
to be
there's a-
involved.
Huh?
We all want to be involved at this point in all of the discussions. So
Well, there's still the option of starting where the moderator does discuss.
yeah,
I mean, because we only
We
have
can-
3 people, and because it's a thing we could do.
yeah. I just think it's good.
Yeah, I mean, we could, but
I think it's adding a layer
We
of
also
confusion.
don't really know what the fucking rules are. So
Yeah. And then
there's a book you could read, or we could read. It's kind of short,
yeah,
and it explains it. I think
Yeah.
in order for this to work, the moderator would have to have read it, and for anyone else to be elected, and even considered, at least in my view, they need to have read that book.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know otherwise.
yeah, I agree with that. We don't.
Yeah.
This is kind of bringing politics in, but we don't need a Marjorie Taylor Greene pulling a stunt.
Who's that?
you don't know
Marjorie
who that
Taylor
is?
Greene, she's a representative from Georgia that are the one that gets called out as a horse. She's a conspiracy
Okay, there's
theorist
a politics. I
in
never heard that.
the House.
She
Yeah.
was the one that said that the Jews have lasers in outer space.
That started the wildfires.
What are you
Really?
guys
Oh
doing?
my God, that was
All
all
this
over
could
the
be a joke.
news.
From my view, all of this could be a joke on me, and you guys are just fucking with me. I don't really know.
No, we're not. Give me just a second here.
It could be all propaganda against this woman. I don't know who this woman is.
Yeah.
It's funny. You tried to say 4 things. I didn't hear any of it.
The funny part
Maybe
is
if
right
they see a
now.
picture.
The funny part is right now she's making more sense than ever because she's against helping against the wars that when Trump did the bombing in Iran. She was actually against that, which put us on the same side, which was kind of a weird situation.
What's her name?
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
There it is. Oh, I know her.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard of
Okay,
her.
I mean, I don't know much about her, but I remember her, and I've seen some of the stuff she says, and I remember having a negative.
She's huge in the media.
I remember having a negative opinion.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
And
Yeah,
It's
they
like
like
right
to make
now
you good.
she's
She's an easy target to make fun of.
or I mean it's like
You
right
said they
now she's
compared to a
entering a
horse?
bill. Yeah,
She
I
doesn't look
don't,
like a horse.
but
Whoever's saying
People
that,
do.
that's mean.
well, I agree.
And even
I
if
think
she
it's
did
funny
look like a horse, it's
personally.
still mean.
It's funny personally, but
So are we
it's
gonna allow
like,
that? By the way, if somebody says you look like a horse,
well, yeah, I think that'd be fine. You look like an idiot. Well, that's fine. I mean, it looked like it, but looks can be deceiving.
Yeah.
But yeah, she just recently is proposing a bill to cancel chemtrails.
Yeah. How do you do
Nationwide.
that? How do you do that?
How do you ban something that's not real?
Well, I mean, it's real. They're there, but you'd have to stop all airlines because every airline
Exactly.
creates chemtrails. Yeah.
hey, can I bring up an issue that we brought up right at the beginning of this meeting?
Sure.
It's a little nuanced thing. One of the people who replied to you on what is it, Blue Sky?
Lemmy.
Lemmy. They said, what you won't get is a genuine cross-sampling of perspectives and viewpoints because it will end up being dominated by hateful voices, civil but hateful. My reply to that is he doesn't understand how chaos works. Each person uses an AI or multiple AIs or just algorithms,
Yeah.
and you can say to your AI, hide all the hateful voices by the standards I give you, or you can negotiate standards with the fucking AI.
Yeah.
And it will, and that way, what you view is not dominated by hateful voices.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What
And
they
I
were-
did try to explain that to him, but
Yeah. What I think what they might be concerned about though is that they will be part of what everybody else's AIs or search engines are filtering out. So, if he's saying has a certain way of expressing himself that happens to fall into the category that my AI is filtering out, and it also happens to be the same as a bunch of other people's AIs are filtering out, then his bit of the conversation will not be heard by as many people. Yeah. Now, that's if he, but he
That's
would have
like
to be.
saying, I don't like your system, so I won't join it.
Yeah, Well, it's each
people
of our.
are not gonna listen to me.
Yeah, but I mean, he would have to be.
Are they having a worse problem now with the current social media?
Yeah,
They're having a worse problem now in society. They are part of the LGBTQ crowd.
Yeah.
Well, what I mean is those people now are in what they call echo chambers.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. KAOS is going to have echo chambers too.
Well,
there's no way around that.
Well, what I mean is it's the same problem in both scenarios. Just like Brian keeps saying all the time that I don't remember how you say it, but the same thing that is happening in those systems is also going to happen here.
Yeah.
But at least here, there's a chance to get around it yourself.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I mean? You get to control it.
Yeah.
Where with all the current systems, the systems themselves are controlling it.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if somebody is going to filter out anything from the LGBTQ group, there's nothing we can do about it. And yes, they are going to get filtered out. That's
right.
But
not by the LGBT people or the pro LGBT people.
Yeah. We would be doing it to ourselves. We would be doing it ourselves. Yes. And each of us as individuals. So.
Right. I mean, I kind of see where they're coming from. Just on the aspect of right now, the LGBTQ community is being targeted big time here in the States.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It really is. I mean, we've had 360 laws against the LGBTQ people in the last 7 months.
Yeah.
Have been proposed.
Yeah. Yes.
And nationwide. So.
Yeah, and but like these. What did I want to say though? Anyway, they are getting targeted a lot right now, but and people may use their own filters to target them even more. But they're just. My point was though that all these things happen to no matter what, like Rami was just saying, they happen in all the different sites. Like here, hopefully it's less so, and but there's no doubt that some people are always going to feel like they're not getting their message out. Everybody always feels like their specific message should be heard by everybody, right? And that's just not going. That doesn't happen now in any of these subreddits or any of these methods of social networks. It doesn't happen now, and they're going to have that same problem with ours. So they'll have to figure out ways to get their message out, and it's all
Yeah. A lot of it's communication and how you communicate it.
Yeah,
because you communicate it is going to take out whatever that filter could be.
Yes. And obviously we all feel like our message is the most important message. And it's just not, we can't hear from everybody because they think it's important. We have to think that ourselves that their message is important, that we're going to hear it, right? So anyway, we're not going to satisfy everybody in that regard. There's just no way, and there is no system out there that can satisfy everybody in that regard.
Well, we can't. No system can force people to watch stuff.
That's exactly yes, exactly right. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it depends on where you're at sometimes. For example, like I made as a example on the subreddit post dealing with our conservative. They will kick you out just for even saying anything negative about Trump.
Yeah.
Anything negative. If you don't agree with one word,
not watch stuff, but they can't force you to watch stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just the big key is we got to make sure that we keep the echo chambering, kind of to a minimum.
Yeah,
I don't know how we can control that at all. Besides advocating it.
Well, we won't be making it so that people can't participate if they participate someplace else. I mean, none of that's going to
Right.
take place in our system.
Right.
But people can personally filter that. They can say, I don't want to hear anything by
And they're
anybody
making their own echo chambers that way,
and making their own echo
which
chamber.
they already do now.
Yeah.
But this is better because, hey, at least you're open to the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
You
it,
can see everything if you wanted to. Well, right now, none of the other social media, you can see things if you wanted to because
Yeah.
they're banned.
that is definitely one aspect of Reddit lately that has been a bit of a trend that just drives me crazy. Like if I make a post on a certain subreddit, other subreddits
You get
will-
banned from
will
another
ban
one.
it. Yes,
Mhm.
that's insane to me. I don't understand that at all. And
We've got a Linux group on subreddit that does the same thing.
that to me that's insane. I mean, they have no idea why I'm posting on the other subreddit. I could be, doing things that are in favor of what the subreddit that's banning me now. I'm spreading their message. I could be spreading their message on a different sub, and yet I
But
get
because
banned.
they don't like that sub, you can
Yeah.
get
Dude,
banned.
it's so fucking retarded.
It is.
It
To me,
is.
that's a
And
horrid trend.
They
subreddit,
don't know if I actually like or dislike the
Yeah.
ideas in that sub. I could
That's
be
right.
there championing
Yes.
against those ideas.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes.
or forum.
Yeah.
And
It's-
it's getting really bad on Reddit. They're really getting bad about that on Reddit in the different groups.
Yeah.
The
they are.
moderation heaviness they've got on Reddit is getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm kind of like trying to get this up and running so we can swing the Reddit group over to the website.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to do. Get the Reddit group, and if my Lemmy group that I set up gets going, get them both combined onto the website, because then they can see the prospect how this is working and make a more educated decision if it's something they want or not, want to be involved in or not. And everyone has their right. If this isn't something they feel comfortable doing, more power to you. It's just a process of getting your opinions out about current subjects that you've got a concern about, and going from there. I am looking in the software right now to see if I can set that up where there can't be any replies to the posts. So it's literally a post is made, there's no replies to it. You want to reply to it, you got to make your own post with your own argument against it. That's how I believe you're wanting to go, Brian.
Yeah, with the KAOS system, that's basically how I wanted to go. Yeah, it's not,
right. So I'm going to look further into the software, see what I can do on that. I did also get that statistics bar removed that you were worried about, Rami. So
I'm
that is
sorry, I
gone.
wasn't listening. What now?
The statistics bar on the forum,
Oh yeah,
I got rid of that. That's gone.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, you said that.
So,
Yep.
So we got that taken care of. I am running into I fixed one part of the problem on where we can feed the videos from the KAOS live streams and that. We can feed that on the website. I'm just trying to get it to show up on the homepage. I've got the software in place, but I got to get it to show up on homepage. I'm doing that on my local server, so I'm not messing with the production server.
You're just giving it the playlist, right?
Yeah.
The playlist. The live stream meetings playlist.
Yes.
Basically,
and I'm actually it's going to have a video capture of it too. So it's just like YouTube does.
Show. I have this on my website. It'll show the latest video in the playlist. Right. But if I have already created the new live stream and it hasn't played, we haven't done it yet, it just shows that, so it's not showing a video. Right. Does that make sense?
Yeah. The way I've got it set up right now on the website, I plan on having a link set up so they can join the live stream from the website. I also am going to have an accordion style display where they can go sideways to the other videos. Yeah, if that makes sense, where you got three images and you got the arrows on either side so you can scroll through the videos. That's what I'm trying to get set up right now. I do have it kind of set up. I'm just trying to get the
And all those 3
software to
videos
show
could
it.
just be YouTube links?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then the
directly
other
fed from
videos I would
YouTube.
put, the other 2 videos I would put, or 3 videos, I would put Brian's podcast with Edward, and then the 2 podcasts I did.
You mean Ernst?
Ernst, sorry.
Yeah.
Too many E's.
Yeah, and I'll need to get links to those from you.
Yeah, I'll email them to you.
So, but yeah, I'm in the process of getting that all set up. So, I mean, we're getting it there.
Yeah.
But it's still accessible, still usable. I just haven't gotten that video link set up yet.
Yeah.
Look at the way I'm wording this now. Brian, I don't know if you got to zoom in.
Yeah.
So now I'm saying KAOS. These live stream meetings are for building a worldwide database of public opinion without censorship. We're currently building the team needed to create the system. So I don't want anyone coming and thinking we're going to see KAOS already or that we're already programming it.
Yeah.
I want them to be very clear. We're still building the damn team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that works well. Yeah.
And I think by having a bigger team, that gives us a little more insight on where we can improve or satisfy what we need to reach.
So
I mean,
I got to tell you, the Reddit, our subreddit's description is not at all like this. It's so abstract. I think we should fix it.
Okay.
Let me read it to you. Actually, let me put it on the screen, maybe.
Okay.
Building a database of public opinion to continue the natural evolution of the noosphere. People don't know what noosphere is.
Yeah.
Make chaos, find order, resist control. That's just fancy language. It's cool, but it's not telling them anything. KAOS is a database of public opinion without censorship or any kind. Oh, I don't even have all the text. It didn't fit. Anyway, we need to make this not abstract. We need to cut out noosphere. I think it may be fine to say the make chaos, find order, resist control, but maybe that should be at the end rather than right in the middle.
Yeah, it should be on the end, at the very end.
Yeah, so let me rewrite it. How am I going to... Let me put it on the screen. That's what I should do. You guys can see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 2 paragraphs. Oh, and this was the end of a paragraph.
Yeah.
But you can't see it from that other view. And nobody looks here, you know? We need to make this 1 paragraph. I think we should do it the same way. KAOS.
I think you should eliminate the first paragraph, but save that last part about order and control and put it at the end of the second paragraph.
Sorry, I'm going to have you repeat that to me. I can't write and listen.
I was saying that we should just eliminate that first paragraph and then just save the part about chaos, find order, resist control, put that at the end of the second paragraph.
I see. I'm going to change it a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, it was kind of neat. I set up the community on Lemmy, and I had 53 people join it the same day. So the people on Lemmy are very receptive to this. They've got concerns. I've been answering them best I can.
Explain to me a little bit about Lemmy. What's Lemmy?
Lemmy is kind of like Reddit. The only difference is instead of being corporately owned, all these servers are individually ran. And all the information comes from all the servers and come together. And it's based on whether or not a member of your instance, which like in my case, my instance is lemmy.zip. And as long as I subscribe to another group, another instance to follow one of their, I guess the only way you could put it would be like a subreddit. They call them communities.
Yeah.
That
So
makes that community available on other servers.
Okay, so you run a community, everybody else is running a community.
Right. Basically a subreddit.
Yeah.
Everyone's running a community on someone else's server. And as long as a person in a different community subscribes to your community, if they're on a different server, that will start feeding all that information to all those servers these people have come and looked at the site at. So it's like I got 53 people that first day. If they're from 53 different instances or websites, that means I've got 53 other servers that are putting out the information.
Yeah. So, but
and
unlike
each of these servers have millions of people on them.
Okay. So each one of these groups, though, these communities are unlike a subreddit where it has a specific, it only talks about a specific thing.
Right.
And here, it's anything that the person that's running that wants to talk about, I gather.
Well, you can
it could go into any. It could be any subject matter. You could be talking about anything.
Right. For example, like that person I was talking to, or we were talking about earlier, that had the concerns that were brought up.
Mm-hmm.
The instance they're on is blaha.com or blaha.net, something like that.
Yeah.
That Blaha is really big into the LGBTQ community, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad they're in it, but because they're able to go to my community and pull it up, they'll start feeding my community that I started up to these other sources.
Uh-huh.
And before long, out of 100,000 servers, you're on every server worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
And these servers are responsible for following the legalities of their own country. For example, the server I'm on is required to follow GDPR. The United States doesn't have that.
So, yeah, well, you just said you're in the United States, so you have to follow the American rules, right?
I have to, wherever the site is located at has to follow the rules that the site is located in.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got, for example, I'm on Lemmy's, it's in London. And because of the GDPR, they changed where their server was from England to the Netherlands. So now they've got more loose stuff, but they still have to follow the GDPR. They still have to follow American laws and all that.
Okay.
But the main reason they moved it is because they disagreed with the GDPR.
Okay.
So, but yeah, and I'm actually contemplating on getting a hold of HostGator and see if we can get Lemmy set up as our server rather than going through Joomla. Just can create their own communities on the server that could benefit the site, or at least, you know, help get the information out.
All right. Well, that sounds like it's another method of spreading the word, I guess. Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at. Like I said, the first day I started the community, I had 53 members.
Yeah, sounds pretty effective.
I mean, it's very, the majority of these people are computer centric. They embrace AI, they embrace the internet. They see it as a means to get their information out. So they're used to doing this type of stuff.
Yeah. Well, they sound like they'd be, a good group to be targeting. Yeah. You're
That's
absolutely right.
why I did what I did.
Yeah.
And I'm running in all these questions when I announced it on a new community page. It's a page called for new communities to help spread the word of the community. And that's where I've been getting all the questions at, is the new community page. People asking questions, how's this going to work? No, this isn't going to work for me. Or, well, you're going to run into these problems. These are things we're getting input.
Yeah.
That I can bring up and hopefully make this system better and work the way we want it to.
Is it possible for you to send me links to any of these conversations you're having?
Damn straight I can. I'll send those to you after the meeting, because I got to pull up and go through the servers.
Put them on the
see
subreddit.
where they're at.
Yeah, maybe make a post on the sub, and then
Yeah,
we can
not
put it
Okay.
up there.
Well, I got to be careful with that, because Reddit is banning. Reddit itself is banning people for posting Lemmy links.
Really?
Yep, because of the Great Migration that happened when Reddit started pushing for their IPO program, where they were going corporate and that, trying to get on the stock market and everything.
Yeah, but I didn't
really
know. I didn't know. I knew that certain subs don't allow certain links, but I didn't think.
Yeah, Reddit will
all.
do it too. They've actually put it in their algorithm that if you post a Lemmy zip, you're out, or a Lemmy account, you're out.
Wow, that's
And we're talking site wide.
Yeah. Huh. I didn't know anything like that.
But I did post on the Lemmy zip the fact that, we're a sister site to our KAOS on Reddit, or our KAOS Now on Reddit. So I did link to the fact that, we've got this also.
Yeah.
Which will have more information.
Can you update all of those social media accounts with the new description, which right now is on the Reddit?
You bet. I'll go ahead and do that today.
Brian, I'm noticing your Substack doesn't have a description.
Okay.
I'm guessing you can put one, and
probably. Yeah, I could.
So copy paste what's on the Reddit, or I'll email you.
Yeah. I can pull it off the Reddit. I have not been doing anything on Substack in a long time. I've kind of just neglected it entirely here for the last little while. So I haven't really had it, since I haven't been doing any real writing of any kind. I didn't really have anything to post. So I'll look at upgrading that though, and like I said, put.
By the way, consider this. Some of the stuff you might post on your Substack would be, let's say you want to showcase a video.
Yeah.
Like the Edward thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Ernst podcast.
Ernst, yes.
And what you could do is I wouldn't put it up.
Stuff.
I wouldn't put it up by itself. I would put up some sort of text that interests them in the video, a paragraph, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the video in there, and then now that's not just an essay, but I'm pretty sure Substack is good for that kind of thing.
Yeah, I know they host the videos now and various things. So I
think you should do a post for the Ernst one, and a post for the first podcast we did, and a post for the second podcast we did, and a fourth one now, for the podcast you and I did with Brian Lanning. You don't remember that one?
No, I don't remember doing a podcast.
I can send you all the links, but each one of those deserves a post. You could even do multiple posts for the same video, because you could say a different thing at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Focusing on a different aspect of the video.
Yeah. don't know if that really helps promote it, though. You know, I don't know. I worry that. Well, I worry that anybody that's following me, if I'm posting, if I'm repeating stuff, then they're just going to pay less attention, pay less and less attention to what I'm posting, right?
Yeah, then don't repeat. But another way to avoid repeating is, and I'm not suggesting this because this is too much work for you, is to cut up the video into multiple sections and then post each one separately.
Yeah.
But that's too much work. I think you would just do you would just include a link of the already existing video on our channels.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely easier for me. I don't have any experience in editing videos and how to do that. So
even if you had experience, I wouldn't suggest it to you. It's work. It's too much work.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to do it, and it's too much work for me to be doing it.
Yeah.
Even for my Uniting the Cult stuff.
Yeah.
I need to find somebody willing to volunteer their video editing skills.
Yeah. So far, I've never tried to put anything other than the essays that I had on Substack. So I'll have to.
I don't know what you mean by it won't promote it. What is the "it" in that sentence?
No, I just meant that people will start on Substack. We're talking about still, right?
Yes.
I don't have many followers, but there are a few. And if I start repeating stuff on there,
about the repeating, don't repeat.
Yeah,
okay, I understand.
And then I don't think that helps me.
It doesn't.
They'll pay less and less attention to what I'm putting out. I think. Yeah. I know I will.
Yeah. Don't repeat. Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to give you an idea. I mean, you might not do anything for months, but now that it's in your head, it's in your subconscious, you'll be thinking about it when you're sleeping.
Okay.
That could be good or that could be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate that it switches. Look at that.
No, I know. But yeah, I'll go ahead and get that description updated on Lemmy. I sent you both the link to the terms of service on the website via email.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm doing a lot of the work now on the site itself. I'm doing that on my local server that I've set up, my local testing server, so I don't break our current website. Once I get where it's working right, I'll just move the whatever file I have to move over to.
Normal process. That's a normal process.
Yep. But we've got a production site, so I'm not doing any testing on it. I'm strictly doing it on my local server.
Yeah, development platform and production platform, yeah.
Yeah. And so I've got the forum software and Joomla itself on my server, so I can break that all I want.
Okay.
Cool. Do we have anything else?
Oh, I think we're good for today.
I agree. I think we covered our main points.
Yeah.
Sat in the house and listened to everyone shoot off fireworks.
You mean you weren't celebrating beating the British?
I was in my own way. I was beating aliens on a game.
I got to tell you, 2 years ago, July 4th, I had a friend with me who's a new citizen of the U.S. He's been here 5 years or 6 years. And anyway, he's a new citizen, and he's excited about July 4th because he kind of knows what it's about, but not really.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, so this is about like something about the British? It's like, yeah. And so we start during the fireworks. We're yelling out loud and everybody's got their phones recording. We're yelling out loud, and it's really loud. Nobody can hear us, but we're yelling. We can yell to each other. Yeah, we kicked the British ass. And what is the fireworks? The fireworks is like a symbol of fucking bombs and cannons, and you know what I mean?
I guess so. Well, I don't know. I guess it could be.
It seems like it to me.
Yeah.
You hear,
at least on the 4th.
I mean,
at least on the 4th.
Celebrations in the old days, and you still see this in the Middle East a lot, where they all shoot their guns in the air. That's what everybody does. They shoot their guns in the air. So I would think that fireworks are just a continuation of that.
Is a fancy,
Yeah,
sort of removing the violence of it.
Maybe.
It's only symbolic now, right?
Yeah.
But
Unless you're in another part of the world.
The sound is still there. You hear a lot of boom.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't do anything. I live too rurally. I mean, it's like the closest fireworks show is half an hour away, and I don't own a car.
So you saw the fireworks on a screen this big.
I didn't even watch the fireworks.
Yep.
Now I've seen the videos where the barge exploded in Alabama, and the various fireworks explosions on the launch platforms. But
yeah, I'm always interested to hear about the accidents. Yeah, all the accidents that happen.
So hey, Mr. Canadian.
Yeah.
What is your equivalent day like that?
Oh, well, we do it July 1st.
And who are you getting your independence from? Was that the British also?
No, what do we call it? Just the Canadian, Canada Day. We just call it Canada Day. We're just celebrating our country.
I don't even know the history. Sorry for being American like this, but
yeah.
Can you fill us in real quick? How the fuck did Canada
we did because you guys became independent. That kind of scared Britain. So they realized at some point later, much later, like we only have our independence. You really got me stuck here. I don't think it's been 100 years, or it's been right around 100 years. We have not been independent as long as you guys have. So there was a point where the British
1867 to 1931, and then more in 1982. What the fuck?
Yeah, there were certain steps that we took away from British rule. And so it was a stepping process. It wasn't all at once, if I understand this correctly. And I think they did this across the board to all the different nations like Britain, had America at one point, and they had Canada, and they had, South Africa, and they had all these other countries, right? The Commonwealth, they call it the Commonwealth. You guys are not part of the Commonwealth because you fought the British. The rest of us never fought the British, but they gave us independence because they just came to the realization.
Can I add a detail?
Yeah, go ahead.
1982 was the step where Canada, stopped using the Constitution in the UK and started using their own.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. This is what I'm saying.
And that's the full independence.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, yes, yeah. So
but you still follow some Commonwealth rules, don't you?
Well, we still have a queen. We still consider or the king. Now it's a king. Sorry,
you still follow the Commonwealth hierarchy.
We were part of the Commonwealth, which just means that we symbolically follow the monarchy, and we have a representative from the monarchy in our country. So we pick. Our prime minister picks somebody to represent the queen or the king or whoever in our country. So there's certain ritual things that we do. This person takes the place of the king or queen in these ritual events and things like this.
So they're a stand-in, basically.
They're a stand-in for royalty, yes. And so anyway, and sometimes royalty does come here for these events and takes that position. And
yeah, I know the king was just there a couple of months ago or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And so anyway, yeah, we're still part of the Commonwealth, and the Commonwealth, we have our own Olympics, right? We have the Commonwealth Games where we all compete in these something like the Olympics.
Hey, Brian,
smaller scale. Yeah.
Help me understand. Okay, another one of the steps. So the first step was 1867. I don't really understand it, but the second step was 1926. And it was part of the Balfour Declaration, which I've heard a million times. Isn't that Israel-Palestine stuff?
Say it again. You got cut off.
Balfour Declaration.
Yeah, I can't. These are words that ring in my mind, but I don't know the full understanding of it. I'm afraid
I don't know what the fuck Balfour Declaration is or why. I've heard it so many times.
Like I said, it's been a step-by-step process that we've gotten more and more independent, right? And
ChatGPT.
So.
Yep.
Oh,
It's the British support for establishing a national home for the Jewish people. It was a thing that was added with a much broader thing related to, the thing with Canada. I guess it has even more in it than that.
and according to what I'm pulling up, it actually happened in 1917.
Well, nothing like when it was formalized might have been a different date,
Yeah.
Yeah, it says it was issued by the British government in 1917.
So we're basically going along with what the British were trying to do at the time.
Of course, at that time, you were still heavily under the monarchy, too.
Yeah. All I know is that it's been a step-by-step process, and it's not clear to me exactly. There is no specific date that, in my mind, rings true. We do celebrate, it'd be a pain for me to look it up, but maybe you can look it up. What we consider our founding date as a nation.
Well, what's the day of the year you guys celebrate?
What's that?
What day of the year do you guys celebrate for that?
It's July 1st. We celebrate July 1st.
So that's the date.
Yeah, but how many years are we celebrating of independence?
Oh, which year was that, you mean?
Yeah. What do we consider that? Yeah, I know that we just hit a milestone here a while ago, but I think we just consider ourselves like 100-year-old country now at this point. It's right around.
Canada officially became a self-governing dominion with the British North American Act on July 1st, 1867.
Yeah.
Another
celebrated as,
that was the first date, yeah.
Yeah, which is celebrated by Canada Day. However, while this act was established by the Dominion of Canada, it wasn't until the Statute of Westminster in 1931.
And that's the Balfour Declaration stuff.
Yeah, and the Constitution Act of 1982, the Canada achieved full legal autonomy
when they finally got their own constitution.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you guys were working on making a constitution for like 150 years before you said, "All right,
let's write
it in stone."
Yeah,
not really stone.
Yeah,
obviously.
That's kind of neat how they did it. I mean, they didn't even have to go to war over it.
Well, it tells you we got plenty of time to make the constitution for us.
Yeah.
Canada waited 150 years. The founders Canadian.
Yeah. We didn't find it any urgency that we had to have this done, and there was no urgency.
Yeah, but and don't take this wrong, but it seems to me Canadians are a little more laid back than Americans.
Yeah, very much so.
At least that's what I see. Granted, I see biased TV about it, but
the same.
We like to call you guys. We like to call you guys the excited states. United States. We call you the excited states.
Excited states.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I thought it was a good term.
Yeah, here you are dealing with us.
Yeah. We are.
By the way, do we fit that mold? Me and Edward?
Oh, maybe not so much. You'd be very welcome here in Canada. I think you'd fit in pretty well.
I actually thought about immigrating to Canada, but I don't have any qualities that would allow me to get the visa to do so.
What qualities do you need?
Yeah.
A job offer, sponsorship, pretty much the same stuff we got here.
$1 million?
Yeah, I could sponsor you. Then you could probably get in.
I would love.
Does sponsoring mean if Edward fucks up over there, you're in trouble, Brian?
I think I have to take some responsibilities. I'm not sure what the responsibilities are, though. But yeah,
I wouldn't put you in that position anyway, Brian.
Yeah.
The wife would probably bitch it's too cold. She grew up in Texas.
Yeah.
Brian,
I grew up in Iowa, so I was closer to it.
What's that?
Huh?
Brian, I'm asking you. So should me and Edward, move to Canada?
Well, if you wanted to, you certainly could. I don't know
what's the least cold environment in Canada?
Well, my brother just moved to kind of semi part of the year he spends in Sarnia.
Is it on the water?
Hey, no, Sarnia is along the Great Lakes there, but it's the most southern point in Canada. Or
So what's the
pretty much.
warmth it gets in the summer and winter?
Well, it's very similar to New York. They're
That's
actually
pretty fucking cold, isn't it?
yeah, well, cold compared to you guys. Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
think that's pretty cold.
Plus,
They're a
you got
little
the
bit.
weather coming off the
I changed
lakes.
my mind.
Yeah, they're actually further
You
south
guys
than
can
New
keep
York.
Canada.
But, yeah,
Love
we do.
that.
We have some pretty cold winters. It depends on where you are. Here in Alberta, yeah, where I am in Edmonton, it's pretty cold. Yeah, we get pretty harsh winters.
I spent a little time in England. Isn't that roughly the same north?
No, they have it may be similar, but they get a lot of the ocean.
Okay, because I remember the weather was kind of nice, but yeah, being so close to the water,
it changes their environment a lot.
It evens it out.
Like Poland, at least southern Poland is very similar to our weather. Places like that.
Fuck that. I mean, you're basically saying Siberia to me.
No, if you want Siberia, you go to Alaska, which is beautiful. I've been there.
Yeah. Well, we have more seasons here. I mean, you can actually tell what time of year it is by the season. Whereas there, like right now, it's daylight till like almost 10:30 at night.
Oof. I complain about us being daylight till 9.
Yeah. It's daylight here by about 4:30 in the morning till about almost 10:30 at night right now.
Wow.
And so that's why, and up north it's even more so. That's why they say like gardens and things do very, very well here because of long days during the summer. And but it's a heavy shift, eh? And in the wintertime, in the dead of winter, it's dark here from it's dark here from about almost about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning till about 4 in the afternoon. Like that's all the daylight we get, and it's dark the rest of the time. So
Wow.
so it's very short days in the wintertime, very long days in the summer. There's a heavy shshift, whereas you guys, it's almost regularly the same every day.
I have some days in the winter that are
yeah, they're a bit
I
shorter,
don't think it's dark at 9. Sorry.
Yeah.
But around 4 o'clock, it's dark again. Yeah.
But that's the way it is. And then, I mean, we shift our clock too. I don't know. Do you guys do the time change there? Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do
that
the time
dumbass
change.
shit.
I was hoping
Although
Trump
Texas is trying to already put a trigger law in effect that if Trump kills the time changes, we go to Texas time, which is stupid because everyone's going to go to standard time while we stay in daylight savings time.
Well, I'm kind of hoping that Trump goes through with that because he was talking about getting rid of daylight savings time, and I think it's a pain in the ass here. We should end that. We only do it because you guys do it, so we'll stop as soon as you guys stop. That's my understanding of it.
I hear some accusatory tone there. He's blaming us, Edward.
Yeah. Well, you guys.
It doesn't surprise me. We do some stupid shit in this country.
Yeah, and then and then it's all about the trade, I guess, and we want to be on the same time zone.
Time schedules.
Yeah. So and so we follow your lead, and if you guys get rid of that, I'll be happy. I would like to get rid of the whole switching time thing. It's a pain.
All right, guys, I'm getting tired for some reason.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Let's
right,
go ahead
guys.
and get going. See
All
you
right,
guys next
guys.
week.
We'll see you guys
All
next
right.
week.
Have a good one,
man.
guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks a lot, guys. All right.
Don't leave yet, Brian.
Bye.
Don't leave yet. All right. As soon as I see the live thing.